And welcome back. You are watching The Trend with me, Amina. Now we've got Usha on the other side. Usha, what are people saying on social media? Hashtag is Hey Amina at The Trend Live on Twitter.
Right, so guys, had a lot to say. I have to say I'm super excited. Like, we've literally only had one interview and already the amount of feedback is tremendous. So we have Mike who says, ambieni AY karibu sana bro, moja kati ya wasanii wenye mistari mikali TZ, vipi zigo ingine kaka. And we also have Abdallah who says, I remember AY those days, he was my favorite musician from TZ. I think you and a lot others. Then we also have Riziki who says, Mzee the Butcher in studio, the most relevant artist in East Africa, mad respect, apige collabo na Papa Jones. Like, you guys, this is literally the first interview and there was so much feedback. This is just some of the few that I'm sampling. We have Dubi Bro who says, the way the show has started, I know, Nadua, you just wait. This is just literally the beginning. And then we also have KJ Mpoa who says, say hi to AY, napenda song zake toka kitambo. We also have Ari who says, enjoying the show from Meru. Thank you so much. Keep watching and tell your friends to watch. Of course, a lot more feedback, and I would be happy to keep reading it. And I know you have a lot more to say about, well, pretty much all the guests that we will have in studio. So I'm going to let us have some space for that. Back to you, Amina.
Thank you so much, Usha. And now, I think for a very long time, we were on two different screens, if you had to watch us. But now we're together, so you guys can watch us live in studio. Joey Muthengi for the first time on The Trend.
I mean,
how does it feel awkward?
It's so bizarre. it's like, I've been trying to find the right word. It's like surreal, bizarre, but I'm happy to be here. When you called me the other day, it took me a minute to register. Like, so you want me on your breakfast show? Like,
oh,
what?
yeah.
Like, but I'm glad I came.
Yes, and I'm glad that you were here.
Good.
You know, I think there is very little that people actually know about the real Joey.
Which is great.
Yes, which
I
is
like to keep it that way.
Which is actually required
Yeah.
in the industry.
Yeah.
Do you agree?
Not necessarily, though. The way social media has taken over and people's lives are just spilling over online, people feel like they have to share every single thing. I'm just more of a private person. I'm an introvert, and so I just don't feel the need. So it's not required, but you know, it's a choice. I feel like.
Yeah, and we were talking about how you would never have a reality show because you don't understand how you'd show so much of your life.
Well, you know what? You never know.
Oh yeah.
It's like my bucket list thing. Like if
Really?
I can gather enough courage. Because I usually, like, I was thinking about this today because I talk to myself sometimes and I was like, I should just have a camera right here.
Yeah,
just
all
to
the time, just in case.
So now I'm cooking. You know?
And you act like you don't see the camera. You're like,
Yeah.
wow, what to do
Oh
today?
God, I don't have tomatoes.
Oh, I don't. So now, you know, for, I think, very many people getting into the industry, you know, some people knew somebody, some people had a godfather, some people it was the grace of God, some people really had to dig through that tunnel. What was yours like getting in, the first step into like Capital of, you know, just trying to get in? How was that for you?
I had a God, that's it. Because I moved back from the States, didn't know anyone, didn't know like anything about the industry. And so, yeah, I just hustled my way in there through ads. Like, you know how they record like, you know, ads for the station that pay very little money, but it was one of those like, I started doing ads and then the PC noticed me and she's like, oh, do you want to do a voice test? And I used to do spoken word at the time, so I recorded some spoken word for the guys who were, you know, doing the ads, and they were like, oh, she's, you know, she's cool. She has this like interesting personality. So that's how I ended up being on air.
Yes.
Yeah, as a presenter.
And then yesterday, after 6 years, you went back to Capital.
It
Are you thinking of
was.
going back to radio? Because I know now you are with VON. You'll tell us about it later.
Yeah.
But then that's your first love.
Yes. Yeah, it was bizarre, first of all, being at Capitol. Not bizarre, it was great. It was awesome. Like, I cried. Like, you know, that it's like going home. It's like going back home and seeing, like, you know, like remembering everything and everyone is there. And I'm like, oh my God. So it was amazing. It was amazing.
Oh, God.
But yeah, so radio was my first love. I started at, I was working for VOA in Washington, D.C. as an intern. And they had assigned me to the TV department as a production assistant, but I didn't have a lot of work to do there. Like the project they had given me, I got finished with it quite quickly. So I was like, oh, they were like, oh, we have radio. So I wandered into radio and met someone there who was like, hey, you want to write stories for us, do our entertainment news, blah, blah, blah. And so that's how my love for radio started.
Imagine. And then now here you are. So back with VOA now. So how's that like?
So right now, I just want to clarify because everybody's like, "How's Washington D.C.? Is it snowing?" And I'm like, "No, I'm in Nairobi." I'm basically just
Georgia.
I'm contributing. I'm like a correspondent basically. So I do stories for them on their radio shows. I'm in the English to Africa service. So there's a show that I've been contributing to called Upfront, which is where I started. Funny enough, and now I'm a correspondent doing like social issues, political issues, economic issues that affect young Africans because their radio airs all over Africa. So I just get opinions basically from Kenyans.
Yeah. And you empower a lot of young people, and you offer a lot of mentorship through the foundation. Tell us a bit about it.
The Muthengi Foundation.
Yes.
It's my brother spearheads it, but I'm also a director there, and the whole idea is for us to empower young people through mentorship and through various programs, partnering with various other organizations that are doing things geared towards supporting kids to get their education, including we've done solar lamp projects where kids can study at night in rural areas. Right now he was just launching something today. He was in Baringo today, and textbooks and anything that has to do with school, stocking libraries. Yeah, we're all about that.
You're all over it. I love it. It's really good to see people sort of turn back and pay school fees for kids in
we have
in
we're doing
Chacos,
that
and
for
it's good to turn back and sort of help other people come up.
Yeah.
Now something else that I actually didn't know is that you are not a rapper, and all this time people believed that you were a rapper. You quit. I don't know.
I love it when people meet me and they're like, "Wow, mbona uliacha kurap?" First of all, I was a spoken word artist, and I started doing spoken word when I was living in the States, and poetry and all that stuff. And then I came back, and my brother's a rapper, so I used to go to the studio with him, and we listened to beats, what I'm saying?
You're
I'm like,
young.
oh, yeah. I'm like, I had nothing to do. I wasn't employed, and then I'm like, well, this sounds like I could do this. It's just like spoken word with a beat. So I started rapping, but it wasn't like I wasn't trying to be Lil Kim,
Cardi.
Well, Cardi didn't exist then.
I know, at the time.
Lil Kim existed. I wasn't trying to be a rapper. It was just something I did for fun, and people found it amusing, so I would freestyle.
Yeah.
But no, that wasn't the
That was not the thing.
That was the move.
So everywhere she goes like freestyle, she's like, no. The thing is,
I don't do that anymore.
I did it once. Let's let it go.
Yeah.
Please. So you talked about spoken word, and you also very bravely spoke about battling depression and suicide attempts, and we have a lot of young people, and I think maybe it's because of the digital age, and we're going to talk about it shortly with Shafi and Ex-Tientela, and you're talking about the social media life because there's a pressure that comes with that.
Yeah.
How are you now? And I mean,
I'm good. Yeah. I mean, I'm doing well. It's funny because the piece that I did for VOA that aired I think this week, and I retweeted it, was about mental health. And so that was like the first sort of piece I did, and they were we were just talking about the scope in Kenya in terms of, are people aware of where to seek help? How are young people dealing with it in terms of social media? Is it a positive? Is it a negative? And so I was so hyped that that's like the first story I contributed to. But yeah, I mean that's something. It's just like if you are diabetic, you learn to live with it. You learn what you're supposed to eat, how you're supposed to live, how you're supposed to change your lifestyle. And so, I've talked about how I was diagnosed at 14 in high school. And so I saw a bunch of therapists, went on a bunch of medication, but that hasn't been the case for very many years. So, yeah, I've learned my triggers, I've learned to manage, but yeah.
And you get to talk to people about it. Because, these are things that people don't open about, because we want to put on our best face. I'm living my best life and I'm doing great. It's a facade. We put it on though.
Yeah. No, I think it's important to talk about it because a lot of times people might think like, what's wrong with her? Why isn't she picking up my call? Or why isn't she this way and that way? And I'm like, or why does she walk into a room and she can't look anyone in the eye because I have like severe anxiety and people don't know that. Like I'm scared of crowds, and they're like, but you host events. I'm like, yeah, I can host from here. Like mingling with crowds is like an issue for me sometimes. So it's just like, it helps people understand me more. So it's not just like, I'm not just trying to isolate myself. There are reasons. Yeah.
Oh yeah. And then people will be like, "Hey, ni snob."
Yeah.
No. Mimi ni mshy tu sana. Mimi ni mshy tu sana. Lakini juu hizi miaka zote mbona hujui Kiswahili poa?
Najua.
Okay, sawa.
It's just that.
No.
No. I can speak Swa, like no problem. But if you ask me a question, My mind doesn't think like, okay, sawa.
Si ndio tutaongea.
Sawa.
So niambie history ya bibi ya governor.
Okay.
Hiyo ni-
Bibi ya governor. Okay, so
Ongea tu.
okay, so
Unaweza.
ile show nilikuwa na host.
Yes.
I used to dress very casually, obviously jeans all the time.
Yeah.
Alafu siku moja nikakuja kaa nimevaa skirt nini na like I was looking very decent. So msee mmoja akasema, bibi ya governor. So everyone in the audience started bibi ya governor. And I thought it was funny.
Yeah.
So that day when I posted my outfit, I was like bibi ya governor. But there is no governor. There was never any
Even the
governor.
rumors uanza.
Si ndio?
The governor that Joey
thing-
Muthengi is allegedly dating. 5 things about the governor.
I've
Blah blah blah.
learned to be less sarcastic because my sense of humor is very dry and some people don't get it. So I'll like joke about something and then people will be like, you know, she's doing this and that. And I'm like, oh my God, it was a joke. Like,
Oh yeah. Wait, so do you like dry jokes?
Yes, I'm very like super dry humor and very sarcastic. Yeah.
And then sometimes it's just a dead
And it
silence.
backfires on me all the time. Like
you're just
any
like-
story you've ever read about me on a blog that isn't true, it came from a place of sarcasm. And I need to work on that.
Okay, so now in a radio interview that you did the other day with Radio Jumbo, you were talking about getting married. I don't know why it made it sound like it was. What's going on with that?
No, it's not something I'm interested in.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's right. It's a choice.
It's a choice.
Right, it's a choice.
yeah.
All right, so now as we talk about as people not knowing you as much as we would like to, I want you to tell me like 4 things, not even 5, not 3, just such a random number, odd 4 things about Joey that you would want people to know.
I don't want them to know nothing.
Yeah, Joey.
I don't
4.
want them to know
4
nothing.
that are random,
No, no,
but
no.
very random.
Stay with your. Let me think. Let me
Yes,
think.
like travel.
I don't
like
like to
books.
travel.
You
I don't like to travel to like more than 3 days or 4 days because like I like my routines and my structures. And when I'm away too long, I feel like even if I'm in the most beautiful place in the world, like I was in Rome in December, and by day 3 I was like, you guys, like I need my bed, I need my computer, like I just need my stuff.
I need
So
to go
I'm
back.
not that person who's gonna backpack through Europe for a
Yeah,
month.
so that's not you. What
That's-
about books? What's your favorite book? What do you read?
I like autobiographies.
Okay.
I'm trying to think of the last book that I really liked. Americana was the last, not the last one I read, but the last one that like really touched me. And I was like, yeah.
Okay, people who
Mama
you
is
really,
awesome.
really, really admire.
Ooh,
Who comes to mind?
ooh. Other than Oprah, Michelle Obama, those types.
I know.
I was gonna say Cardi B, no Beyonce.
What? I know. You really want to say Beyonce, but you're like Michelle Obama.
Yeah.
Our book becoming is everything.
Everything.
Everything for me. So now, if you, whatever you are right now, if you close your eyes, turn around, you will see the advertisement of Betty Joy. In fact, when rumors of you dating started and started,
Yeah.
how the endorsement is so big. Congratulations on it, Joey.
Thank you.
It's a huge achievement.
Yeah,
Tell
it
me about,
is.
how you got the deal, and then you get the deal, and then of course.
First of
everything
all,
that
I
came
didn't
after.
think I was gonna get that deal because you've been in this business of TV hosting and gigs, like there are auditions, right? And so I walk into this room and there's like 10 chicks who look exactly like you, and you're like, okay, this ain't gonna work. But yeah, so I auditioned for the part. I got it. I was super shocked. I didn't think I was going to get it. And then yeah, they're like, so we're shooting our first ads in Rome, and we're flying on these dates, and yeah. So I met Mariga at the auditions. Actually, we didn't know each other. So yeah, so we met and then went and shot. And
Imagine.
Yeah,
You come back and then you hear dating rumors. You're like, guys.
I know.
What?
Apparently, I'm a great actress, is what I'm telling people now. Because people are like, "Are you sure? That chemistry there." I'm like, dude, it's acting. I'm an actress. Like, so that's what I do. It's not nothing there.
Actually, speaking about acting, we have a clip of Joey in a scene. I don't know when this was, but
Okay.
she's the one who's going to tell us. So we have it right. So take a look.
I need your credit card. My roots need to be redone.
Things were different when Mom was around.
Your kids are complete brats. Their
Those
mother
are my
spoiled
children
them.
you're talking about. You have no
Who
rights.
are you really defending here? Your kids or your ex-wife?
What's bugging you?
You didn't even tell me you have a girlfriend. I'm not playing games with you, Rita.
Hey.
Dramatic.
What?
Why so dramatic?
Why were the effects that?
I know. That's what I'm going to say. That was 2010-ish.
Yeah.
That was Changing Times. That was my first TV show that I ever acted in. And funny enough, we were on air for 6 months and we won a Kalasha for best TV show after 6 months. Like, it was that impactful. But it was a great show. I miss it dearly. There were a lot of beautiful people and we were all very young and having fun, and it was a blast.
Are you gonna go back to acting?
I would like
Poetry,
to.
music.
Acting, I would like to.
Okay.
Music, I will not. As far as poetry goes, like, I feel like poetry is like that's the state that I'm in at the moment. Like, that's the space I was in when I was writing and I was performing. I'm not in that space right now. Not to say I won't be in the future, but like, life gets a hold of you, you know,
It
and
does.
work and like the hustle and the grind. And this is the first time I'm actually like woosahing and being like, okay, what do I want to do with my life, and like, who am I really outside of all this stuff? So
Yeah.
who knows?
But TV is also coming up as well, right? So
Yeah,
that's okay.
yeah, that's not out of the picture. People are feeling like I have retired, hung up my jersey, like I'm out in Machakos just herding
Family, I don't know.
cows, which is true on the weekends, but yeah, but I'm still around.
Okay.
Yeah.
Joy Muthengi, everybody. She is as warm as she is right now. She's the same on and off camera. She doesn't change, and she's absolutely cool. I really wish you all the very best. Thank you so much for coming through on the show.
Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you.
For those who are tuning in, once again, this is a collab.
This.
happening.
Collaboration.
I really thought of not coming, Amina, but my love for you.
Aki
My love for you.
Manze,
I was like, it's going to be
manze.
weird. But thank you for not making it weird.
So, what do you want to remember? What do you want to be remembered for? It's a question I ask a lot of my guests. What do you want to be remembered for?
Like what? Like after I die?
Yes, after you pass on.
Well, I haven't died. I mean, I'm not there yet. I don't, you know.
Unataka Wakamba, ukiwaleta kwa show, they're like, this is superstitious.
Why are you trying to kill me? Why? You know I'm from Kitui.
Oh, yes, gosh. Anyway, but thank you so much.
I want
Joy.
to be
Really appreciate it.
remembered
Yeah.
for somebody who, you know, helped others. I think that's the most important thing that you can do. This industry, you can, you know, be beautiful and you can, you know, have money and you can do everything that you want for yourself. But after you're gone, who is going to carry along your legacy of giving back and helping people and helping educate people? With the foundation, the work that we're doing, that's really what means a lot to me.
Yes. Joy Muthengi Foundation. Thank you so much for coming. So I really
Thanks for
appreciate
having
it.
me.
I really do.
I'm up
I really
after
do.
my bedtime.
Yeah, I
need to
know.
go
She
sleep,
told me she
okay?
sleeps at 7.